Hello and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be building a to-do app, and we're going to be using a design from Dribble to achieve that. So it looks something similar to this. It's going to display all the items that we've created. We'll also have a page to actually create the to-do. And yeah, we'll also have the ability to mark it as complete, like in a design. If you're new to Nylo, head over to nylo.dev and you'll be able to download the project here. When you build and run for the first time, you're gonna get this landing page. So yeah, let's get started. So the first thing we're gonna do is first create that landing page. You can see from the design, we've got this like nice landing page. So let's just delete this, and we're gonna create some pages. So if we just copy this command here and run it, what it will do is give us some different commands that we can use, and the one that we're interested in is actually creating a page. So if we use make page, and let's just call it landing for now, and that will create our landing page. You can see it's been added for us. We're going to set this as the initial route because that's where we want the user to start in our application. And yeah, we're also going to create another page. So let's create to do create for now. And what we can also do in Nylo is if we add a comma, we can actually create another page if we wanted. So let's create the maybe to do detail. So if someone actually clicks the to do, we'll take them to another page where they can view more information about that to do. So if we run that, you can see Nylo's created us two different pages from that one command. And now let's start looking at the design. I think the first thing we can do is just add a floating action up here. So let's do that. So now we've got our action up here, and we can also make it just make it a bit more rounded. So I'm going to go with, let's go with 25. Okay, and we're going to remove this color here for the light theme. So for that, we just need to go to our light theme colors, and inside here we have some for the app bar. You can see here we're just setting it to blue, but let's change that so that it's let's make it white, and we'll have any content that's on it, make it let's just make it black for now. So yeah, something like that. And so the next thing we can do is just create that list as well. So for that, we're going to create a state manage component. Let's call it make state for widget, and yeah, let's name it to do list. So that's created our widget for us, and then we can just do to do list just like that. And now if we look in here, this is what Nylo's created for us. If you're wondering where that file has been created, it's in resources and widgets. You can see it's been created at the bottom. And yeah, this is currently how the default skeleton is for a state manage widget. So what we need to do is just update the return here, this build, as a list view. And we'll also set this shrink wrap equal to true. And inside here is where we'll have our widgets. For now, we'll just display some dummy data, and let's just see if that works. So yeah, we've currently got our widgets there. Let's also add the trailing action. And I think the last thing we can do is just add some margin, some padding between here, and just so that it isn't right next to the plus button. So let's do that. Okay, perfect. In fact, let's make it 50. Okay. For now, this works. So we're going to have our items here, and we've also got our button to go to actually create the page. And we're also going to do a on tap event. So we do on tap. We're just going to route to and then we can pass in data, which will be equal to the to do. We're going to make this dynamic in a minute, but for now, if we just rebuild the project, let's just see if everything works. So if we click on a to-do, it takes us to the detail page, and if we go to the create page, you can see we're going to the create page. So everything's working there. So to get everything working a bit more dynamically, let's first go to the create page, which is in our route. So if we go to the router and just go to the create page, let's add a few fields here. So we're going to have a title and a description. Let's do that. So if we build and run and just head over to this page, you can see the to-do create. Let's just name it as create instead. We have a column and a few, well, 2 text widgets, and yeah, we've got the material button right at the very bottom. And with the no text field, we can use this compact look, which looks like this. It looks a lot more nicer than the default one, in my opinion. We can still use the default one if we wanted, but if you want to use compact, it will give it this nice look out the box. And we're just setting the hint text equal to title and description. We can also provide some validation as well. So if we provide some validation rules, let's just say like a max of, let's go with 200 characters. And we'll also do the same for the description as well. So just to show you what would happen if it wants to go over 200, let's just make it 10 for now and just try to go over 10, and you see we get this like nice validation message right at the very bottom. You can do more stuff with validation rules. If you head over to the docs, we've got a section on validation over here. You can see in basics validation, and if you look for validation rules, you see we have stuff like for email, if it's a URL, a minimum, if it's not empty, and so on. But yeah, for us, I think we could even actually just go with 100 characters here, and for the description, let's just go with 150. So that will just display a nice error to the user. And for the creation, we're going to be storing this to local storage, and then we'll be able to update the state from an event. So when the user clicks create, we're going to use validate. It's another helper for validation in Nylo. And this will just make sure that all the data is correct. So it requires a key, which is going to be the name of the text field. So we're going to use title, description. And then for the value, it's going to require like an array. So here we can pass in the actual value that we're going to validate. So let's use the controller title, and yeah, let's get the description like so. And then for the second parameter here, we just pass in what we want to validate. So we're going to do the exact same what we've got up here. So make sure it's a maximum of 100 characters, and also same for the description, just like that. So the unsuccess is only going to be called if both of these validation rules are kind of met. So if we was to give this a try and just print out what we get, let's see what happens. Let's make this a bit easier actually. So let's make this just 10 characters just for now, just for the example. And yeah, we'll also do the same here. Now, yeah, if we was to build and run, we should get an error on 10, and also here. You can see if we try to create, we get this pop-up here to let us know that the title must be a maximum of maximum length of 10 characters. And if you wanted to actually disable this pop-up showing, we could use show alert equal to false. And now if we just run it, you see that we just get this exception thrown at the bottom. And we could actually handle what happens with the on failure. This will just get the error that happened, and from here we're able to kind of maybe show a different type of pop-up or handle something in the state itself. But for now we're going to keep it like this. So yeah, this is working. And if we was to just make this less than 15 characters and try again, you can see that now we're reaching the unsuccess. And inside here, we're going to fire an event. So we can use Nylo's event system, and we're going to create a new event called, let's call this create to do. So now that we've created our event, let's use it. And to use an event in Nylo, we just need to specify event like so, and then put create to do. And here we can also pass in data. So we're going to pass in the title and description like so. And now if we head over to the event itself, this is kind of how things are set up out of the box. So if in the future, for example, we want multiple different listeners to listen to an event, like for instance, we could have another one here to maybe like log what's happened. We could just add it in like this, and inside here we could then just perhaps like log the event. But for now, we're going to actually save it, and we'll just use the default listener. And to save the event, first what we need to do is just obviously get the data. So let's get the title from the event, and then we'll also get the description too. And now if we just to print this out, just to make sure that it's all working, let's just build and run first. And head over to here, let's just put hello world. And you can see the event was fired, and we also did call the second, the log listener as well. I'm going to comment this out for now because we don't really need it. It was just to show you how it works. So yeah, currently at the moment we're able to log this information out, and now let's store it on an object and then put that object in local storage and then start using it in the application. So I'm going to create a model. Let's use Metro make model. Let's call it to do, and that will create our to do for us. So head over to app models and to do. This is currently what we have, and we need a few things. So we need the title and also the description. Okay, so I hope this makes sense to everyone. So inside the to-do model, you can see we're constructing it here. We're just gonna require that it has a title, description, and this is gonna be like an optional parameter that we could set true if you wanted. But yeah, we have the from JSON that's required for storing things to local storage, and we also have the to JSON that's also required. So if we were to use this model to store our object, let's do to do, and then to store the to do, what we can do is, and a collection in Nylo is just like a list of items. So we could save it as like a single item in local storage if we wanted, but because we know we're going to have multiple to-dos and we want to be able to like retrieve all the to-dos, we can use a collection instead. The only parameter that we need is a key, and the best way to keep your projects organized with local storage is if you head over to config and storage keys. Inside here we could create a new storage key for our to-dos. So okay, so yeah, we got to-dos there, and now we can just use storage key and then pass in the to-dos. So that's all we need to save the to-do to our storage collection, and then we'll just use that information on our landing page. So if we head back over to the router and landing, to-do list. Okay, so it's going to be inside this widget that we're going to fetch all the to-dos. then we can just replace this, slightly refactor it. So we're just going to map the to-do. Okay, so this is what the widget looks like now for the landing page. You can see there's been quite a few changes, but I'll just talk you through it. So where we've got the list view here, we're getting all the to-dos that we've got in local storage, and that's been set from this here. Then we're just gonna map all the data into a list tile. You can see here we're setting like the title, description, if it's checked. And we've also got this unchanged, so if someone actually taps the checkbox, we're going to update the value for that here. So the last thing I thought to touch on is state management, and how that works in Nylo is we've got this method called state updated, and this is only going to get called if you use this method here, so update state. For this, we're going to actually call this in the event itself, just so that we can update the state. And when we do, we're just going to use this to update the values and then just update the state of this widget. So let's add this to our event. So you can see here, and then we can just do update the state. And here we just need to pass in the state like so. We don't need to pass in any data, although we could if we wanted to, and that will actually get passed as data here, but because we're storing it all as local data, we actually don't really need to use this. So let's give it a try. So I'm just going to build and run. At the moment we don't have any to-dos. Head over to here, let's just put hello. Okay, and that's been created, and you can see we do have that new to-do added for us. I think to give it some more feedback, we could add like a nice pop-up, and maybe for it to actually wipe what's in the text fields. So let's head over to that widget. So we're gonna first wait for the event to finish, and then here we'll just do photo success. We'll just put to do created, and now if we try another one, I think we're gonna have to update the. Let's just update it to 100 what we had before. Okay, and for the description, let's just put. Okay, and yeah, now we get this nice little pop-up, and yeah, to reset the text fields, we could just do text equals to that, and same for the other one. So yeah, now we have 2 at the moment. Okay, so I showed you a bit of state management, events, a bit of the layout as well, how you can modify how things look. Let's also add the detail part into it as well. So first let's just head over to the widget. So we have a to-do list widget here, and at the moment we've got, yeah, if we tap here, we're going to go to the detail page, which is currently working. But now let's pass in some data. So here we're just going to pass in the actual to do, because we have that actually coming from the map list here. And to get that data back, this is the to do detail page now. I'm just going to set this to detail here. To get that data that we've passed in, we can just use data like that. And yeah, we know it's going to be a to do. And now let's just import the class. Okay, so let's also initialize this as a private variable. I'm gonna make a really simple UI, nothing crazy. So I'll change the widget slightly. There isn't too much that's changed, but you might notice now they're like using the chained text helpers. And if you're interested in like learning more about that, you can head over to themes and styles and just head over to text extensions here. Okay, so far in our application, we're able to create new to-dos. We're also able to view them. The last thing we need to do is just add the ability to check them. So at the moment you can see if we click it, nothing's happening. And yeah, let's head over to this widget to make that happen. So go to our widgets, to do widget, and it looks like inside here, this is where everything's happening. So let's make this asynchronous. So it looks like I had an error in the code. You can see I've updated a few things here. We just need to ensure that we've got the type itself here that we're going to be updating. And then Nylo will be able to work out which model decoder to use. So you can see here now we're just checking the title matches the title. In a real world application, you'd want to do this based on like IDs or something very unique to the object. But for this example, we're going to use the title. And here we've got the update. So nothing special here. We're just going to update the checked value and return that. So yeah, if we give this a try, I did actually get another error. It's because I was trying to use reboot and I didn't have the boot command here. So I've just switched init, which was before, to boot. And now we're able to use reboot. That will just basically rerun our boot command and also update the state for us. So yeah, we can see everything's working. We're also able to reset the app and we've still got the same to-dos. If we go out of it again, you can see everything's working. Let's kind of recap really how things are working, just so that hopefully everything's clear for you guys. We've got this landing page, and inside the landing page we have a widget here, which is the this widget here you see. So this to-do list, and inside this to-do list, this is where we're handling the whole state for the project, like the state management. So the key things to remember is the state updated. This is going to be used whenever we want to update this state from anywhere in our application, and this is the code that's going to be run when someone tries to update that state. At the moment, we're just updating it from our event. So if I was to head over to here and look at the event that we're using, let's come out this. You can see we're creating the to-do, saving it to our collection, and right at the very bottom here is where we're actually updating the state. So that's going to call our state updated to be invoked, and yeah, we're just setting it equal to the latest collection data. And if we head over to the create page, so yeah, that's this one here. You'll find in here, this is pretty straightforward. We've got a few text fields, and then we have this material button here that's going to handle the validation for us and also fire that event. So just remember, this is how you'd fire an event in Nylo. Just call event and then pass in event you want to use. So obviously we're using this create one. And yeah, this data here is going to be passed to the parameter here, so you'll be able to use it as you need. For us, we're just setting it as title, description, and then using that to create our object. And yeah, the detail page, there isn't too much going on here. It's just literally displaying the data that we get passed from the landing page. So yeah, again, nothing too much there. And yeah, if we just try one more, let's try Nylo today. That will create the to-do for us. And if we head back over to that page, you can see we've got that new list added for us. We didn't have to do any like set state or anything inside what on this page. It just handles it automatically from the state updated. And one of the great things now, because we've actually set it up as an event, we could actually just pass in title and description from anywhere in our application and always know that the state will be updated. So just to show you kind of how that works, let's go back to the router landing page. We could, just for this example, I'm going to make it so if the user taps the create a to-do widget at the top, you can see we've got the on tap event here. Let's use event and pass in the create to-do event. And then for data, we know we can just pass in information like this. And now if we try this, it should add to do one and the to do description. So let's try it. You can see that's been added for us. So that's the real power and kind of magic really to events and state management. It just allows us to kind of reliably like fire an event and have it update our state. So they're the two real key things I hope you kind of take away from this video, just events and state management. So I hope this video has been useful. Please like and subscribe, it helps the channel. And I've got some more videos planned for you guys, just showing you more of Nylo and how things work under the hood. So stay subscribed for that, and I'll see you in the next video.